In this week's Parshas Matos, the Torah tells us about the halachos of nidarim, of vows. So what is a vow? A vow is when I say, this thing is usher to me. So I could say, this donut is usher to me, and now I have a new isser on myself that I can't eat this donut. So it's interesting, though, that even though the Torah tells us about these halachos, the Mishnah Nidarim on Daf Tes tells us that nidarim are actually ma'aseh rishayim. They're the way of the wicked people. So obviously the question is, if the Torah is telling us about them, why are they the way of wicked people? So there are potentially two answers in the Gemara. The first one on Daf Chaf Amud Aleph in Nidarim, where the Gemara says there that when I add another isser for myself, right, I'm setting myself up to potentially violate that isser. Right? We know that we already have enough isurim, and if I violate one of those isser, if I eat chaz or if I eat pig, that's not fair that I'm racking up for myself. So if I now go and violate an isser that I created for myself, I am now racking up those averos. So why would I want to do that? So it's kind of the wrong context, the wrong placing ourselves in the right environment. It's not a good situation. But the Gemara on Daf Chav Beis in Nidarim actually gives a different explanation and makes an analogy and says that making a neder is as if you're making a sacrifice on a bama. So what's a bama? In the times of the Beis HaMikdash, you were allowed only to bring sacrifices in the Beis HaMikdash itself and not outside of the Beis HaMikdash. If I brought a sacrifice on an altar outside of the Beis HaMikdash, that was called a bama, a personal altar, and that was an isser, and you were not allowed to do that. So why is that comparable to a neder? Because it's really a very similar idea. Right? What is a bama? A bama is making a sacrifice. Making a sacrifice isn't something that is foreign to our religion. Right? You can go to the Beis HaMikdash and do it. But once I take that sacrifice and I bring it outside of where it's supposed to be, that's no longer something that the Torah views as positive. And the same thing by Nidarim. Right? We have Isurim. I'm not allowed to eat chazer. I'm not allowed to eat pig. I can't do malacha on Shabbos. But once I take that idea of an Isser and I bring it outside of halacha, outside of Torah, and make a new Isser for myself, that the Torah frowns upon. But the question is, what's the problem with having more Isurim? We know that Isurim, they keep us on the right path and make sure we don't do the wrong things and we focus on what Hashem wants us to do. So why is it such a problem that we have more Isurim? So there are actually two ideas I want to bring. The first one is from the Kli Yakar. And the Kli Yakar explains that when I make a neder for myself, what am I doing? I'm adding another Isser and placing myself basically above everyone else in Klal Yisrael. Like everyone has these 613 mitzvos, everyone has Shulchan Aruch, and I am now saying I am special, I am more significant, I am more righteous than everyone, and I deserve to have another Isser, another opportunity to do a mitzvah. And that, the Kli Yakar says, is the way of gaiva, is the way of haughtiness, and therefore it is not a positive thing to do whatsoever. But Rosh Hashanah Rafal Hirsch offers another explanation, which I think is very nice. And he says that we have 613 mitzvahs, we have Shulchan Aruch, and Hashem gave us those things so that we focus on that, we do that, and that is our avodas Hashem. That is what we can use to serve God. The Torah doesn't really like it when we go and do our subjective own thing. If I think that, dancing when I wake up in the morning is going to help my avodas Hashem, the Torah is not considering that a mitzvah, even though I think it's like a great part of my avodas Hashem. So when I go and say that I'm creating another Isser and this donut is usher to me, I am now making my own subjective avodas Hashem, which the Torah doesn't really want me to do. Right? The Torah wants me to focus on what it did give us, right? Those 613 mitzvos, that corpus of halacha, and within that Torah, find what is special for me, what I can achieve, what I can do, how it can change me. And through that, I'll really be able to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the fullest way possible. And if we focus on those things, hopefully we can serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to, and it'll really be a beautiful and amazing opportunity.